bet. That red button up there on the top of my screen, bro, that means we're live. Some Casual Takes, episode 59, hosted by your boy Steven Pepper, here to talk casually about some sports. This episode is brought to you by no one. I'm here with the usual gang, the usual squad. This is my football rotation because everyone that I know doesn't talk football. Kieran just dipped. I don't know where he went, but Kieran's here. He's probably fixing his camera. Jaden's fixing his family situation in the back. They're here. You guys know who they are. Ready to talk some sports. We're going to wait for them to get back, and then we're going to get to our topics. We have a good amount of topics today. I saw this the other day. Bleacher Report released their top 20 players in the NBA.
That was bad.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that to start the show before we get into football. The headliner for today's show is NFL award predictions, but I want to talk about Bleacher Report's top 20 because it is a little sus list. Team USA also played today. I'm not going to break down the game, but I kind of want to talk about a certain player. And then I want to hear you guys' most overrated, underrated NFL team going in the year. And then we have some Mike Evans situations going on. But football is 6 days away. We're 6 days away from kickoff. We're Baker Mayfield jersey number away from kickoff. How are we feeling, bro? 6 days.
I'm excited.
We are excited. College football is back. I spent last night watching college football. I don't know if you guys are like big college football fans.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more into it this year than previous years.
It gives you a good gauge of how good a player is like coming in a draft instead of just like cramming in their film before the NFL draft. You actually watch it throughout the season.
Yeah, that's what I usually do instead.
That's what I usually do too. But I think college football, the vibe of college football is fun. That's why I like it. But football's 6 days away. It's not 6, but I think we're day 1,000 of Damian Lillard not being traded. I refreshed Twitter, NBA Central, and I keep seeing Damian Lillard wants to go to Miami like it's news. Like I think we've known about it for the last 3 months. He still hasn't been traded. Someone else who hasn't been traded is Jonathan Taylor, but I'm not going to get into it today. Shout out to my Colts for handling this Jonathan Taylor situation. Jalen Waddle and a second-round pick for Jonathan Taylor, by the way. That's a package. I don't think Jim Irsay was serious about that package. I think Jim Irsay I don't think Jim Irsay wants to trade Jonathan Taylor. I just think Jim Irsay was just like, it's going to look like we're trading him, but in reality, we're not trading him.
Yeah,
I think that's what Jim Irsay was doing.
It was just to get everyone pumped, but that was stupid.
But dude, I would have loved a Jalen Waddle on this team. Anthony Richardson with Jalen Waddle.
Bro,
hey, we're taking for Marvin Harrison Jr.,
passes.
bro. It's fine. Once we get Marvin Harrison Jr., we're a top 3 team in the AFC. Facts.
Oh my God!
Just get Brock, bro. Just get Brock Bowers or Marvin. Harrison,
I'm just saying though, if the Colts are ass next year and they have the number 2 overall pick, Marvin Harrison Jr. and Anthony Richardson's gonna be like the greatest wide receiver duo.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And if somehow we get Jonathan Taylor to stay, that's an elite offense, bro. If we somehow get Jonathan Taylor to stay,
I'm supporting the Colts because I really like Anthony Richardson. I really do.
Let's go. Yo, do you guys dig the new setup? I'm in my new house. Got Le Jersey in the back. You can't see it because of the sun, but that's a flag of LeBron smoking a cigar when he won the bubble championship, the LeMay chip.
MJ does it better. MJ does it better.
Yo, why am I seeing the second greatest player of all time?
Oh my God! You mean Wilt Chamberlain? Should I get a Wilt Chamberlain jersey?
Kobe's better than him, man. Come on.
Kobe, Bill Russell's better.
Shut up, Ozzy.
11 rings, Kobe, mom mentality, Jordan, killer mentality.
Bro, no, you don't get the logic,
bro. In the NFL,
who's the greatest player of all time? Michael Jordan. Who's the closest thing to Michael Jordan? Kobe Bryant. Kobe's the second greatest player ever.
Nah, Kobe Bryant's fans are the second worst fans in the world.
Dude, I saw your fan list. Dude, you put Moses Malone fans on the list. There's not a single Moses Malone fan that exists.
Bro, dude, Dude, I swear to God, I hear all the time that Moses Malone's is
Exactly. You're not
underrated,
underrated
and
if
he's
everyone
not.
calls you
He's
underrated.
just not.
Oh, I get what you're trying to say. Like people who people who want Moses Malone on like top 20 lists, but like I don't think they're fans of Moses Malone. I don't think they're repping Moses Malone jerseys.
I'm
I don't
gonna
think
be
they're
honest.
making Moses Malone Twitter accounts, dude.
I'm gonna
You have a
be
Moses
honest.
Malone Muse account? Oh my God, bro.
I'm gonna be honest. I couldn't think of another player.
Charles Barkley.
Oh, Anthony Edwards fans. SGA
Anthony
fans.
Edwards fans.
Shut up, funny fat boy.
They should have made that list. All right, let's get into this Bleacher Report top 20 list. I saw it, and I know mostly we're talking about football today, but I want to get your guys' opinions on this list. Jaden said he already seen it. So Bleacher Report made
I
their
have not
top
seen it.
20 players for the
I'm gonna put it up.
2023-24 season. And here's the list 1 through 20. I'll read it just in case you guys don't remember the order. 1 is Jokic. Okay, Jokic at 1. Giannis 2. I don't think we're disagreeing. Luka at 3. Embiid 4. This is when it starts spicing up after Embiid. Tatum 5.
I know.
Notice how I went an entire 5 players without saying Stephen Curry's name. Steph goes at 6 per Bleacher Report. And then LeBron's a spot below at 7. KD follows. Devin Booker's at 9. Anthony Day-to-Day Davis is at 10. And then for 11, we got SGA. 12, Jimmy. 13 is Kawhi Leonard. 14 is Damian Lillard. 15, Anthony Edwards is at
That's what I mean why he's overrated, bro. I'm sorry.
Oh my, Kieran, you actually might like end stream. Jamal Murray at 16. And
who made this?
De'Aaron at 17. Paul George at 18. Jaylen Brown, Kendrick left at 19. D. Mitch at 20. No James Harden. No Brandon Ingram. No Kyrie. That's the list.
No Kyrie.
No
no Trae Young.
No Trae Young. No Ja Morant.
I'm not. That is the worst list I've ever seen in my life or heard in my life.
Wait, they have Harden.
No Harden.
Wait a minute. The top five. Wait a minute. Like the top 5 was Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Embiid, and Tatum.
No Curry. Curry's at 6.
That's bad.
What is this list?
And then they have AD below Booker.
Someone just said player choice ad list.
That's an OC type list.
Not Kobe would somehow still be on that list. But bro, no Kyrie, no Harden, no Siakam, it's fine. But the fact that no Zion, by the way, but we're gonna count.
Oh my God.
This list is horrible. Steph at 6.
Players
at 6.
The players I think that need to be top 20 is Ja, Trae.
No Ja, no Trae.
Yeah, those are just and Zion. Like
what does
Siakam, no Siakam is fine.
What does Jaylen Brown deserve to be on this list more than Ja? Or what does Jamal Murray? What does Jamal Murray do better than Trae Young and Ja Morant?
He probably just shoots better. That's
enough for him to be on this list.
He's a better defender, but like, dude,
is it enough for him to be on this list?
No, it's not enough.
To be on
because guard defense should never be more valuable than guard offense. I'm sorry.
Facts.
Yo, guys. Marcus Smart is the best point guard of all time, by the way.
Bro,
Jaylen Brown.
I asked someone this. He's like, "Oh, I always like two-way ability so much. I asked him who's better, Drew Holiday or Trae Young. He actually said Drew Holiday.
God damn it!
And he said he was a level as a playmaker as Trae Young.
Dude, as long as you have good defense,
no, I'm just saying
around those guards, it's fine.
No, the criteria doesn't make sense because like if you value two-way ability, you should have Chris Paul like as the greatest point guard ever.
No, not even that.
Don't understand this list.
No, I'm just saying like Magic and Steph have been like either neutrals or negatives during their career, and Chris Paul's always been a positive on offense and defense. If you value two-way ability that much, he should be your goal point guard.
That much, yeah, that much.
I'm just saying,
dude,
no.
Steph's 2 years removed from a title. He's still probably the best point guard in the league,
Like-
unless you say Lucas passed him.
I have to look at his stats because I'm gonna go off of base stats, be a stat nerd for a second if my computer can load. But
I mean, I would say this. I think Luka is a better playmaker, but the value that Steph brings as like an off-ball player and scorer and shooter, I'm still taking that over Luka. Now, with Giannis and Jokic, I think it's more debatable because you could argue that Giannis is the best help defender in the league. But, like, Steph should be no lower than 3.
Why is Steph below Jason Tatum? I like Jason Tatum.
No.
High.
You know what's funny? I guarantee you, like, some Celtics fan made this list because they're
the ringer.
bitter. They're bitter about
Bill
the
Simmons made this.
finals.
Bill Simmons made this list probably.
No, that 14-year-old definitely made that list, Jaden.
Huh?
The J guy, like Johano something.
You know what sticks out about this list, not other than the Steph Curry thing? I think I've been seeing a lot of these top 10, top 20 lists a lot recently because we're heading into the season in about a month, so people are making their top 10 list. I think Anthony Davis might be underrated. Like, when I think about Anthony, I mean, it sounds crazy to say he's underrated because when people think about Anthony Davis, they still see one of the best players in the world. But I'm seeing people's list. They don't treat him like one. I see him there. Bleacher Report has him at 10. I see on most top 10 lists, Anthony Davis is barely hanging on a 10. If not, he's out of the top 10 on most people's list. And I don't understand why. Oh, street clothes. Anthony Day-to-Day Davis. Dude, I think Anthony Davis, since being a Laker, has played more games, if not the same amount of games, as half the people you'd rank above Anthony Davis. Another thing about Anthony Davis is the offensive inconsistencies, the roller coaster points that people like to point out. I get that Anthony Davis has offensive inconsistencies, but his floor is so high. I mean, I don't know, maybe best defender in the world. Does that not matter to people?
By far, by the way.
And let's talk about Jason Tatum's offensive inconsistencies if you want to put Jason Tatum so high, but not Anthony Davis. But when Anthony Davis is on offensively, you can't name me 6 better players in basketball. He's putting up Wilt numbers when he's on. He's having like 30 and 20 games against the Golden State Warriors in the postseason.
Yeah,
and again, everyone's so quick to put LeBron James above Anthony Davis. Look at these posters behind me. I'm a huge LeBron fan, but I think we're at the time where Anthony Davis is better than, if not the same level than LeBron. Who got the Lakers to the playoffs? Anthony Davis. LeBron was hurt. It was Anthony Davis leading the charge, having an amazing stretch, averaging no less than 30 a game. And let me tell you, in the playoffs, teams were so focused more on Anthony Davis than they were of LeBron James because Anthony Davis was more impactful. The ways he impacts the court was far better than what LeBron did. And he also played more games than LeBron, by the way, too. I mean, I don't think Anthony Davis should be no less than 7, honestly.
So I made my top 20 list because I'm bored. I just did it in 5 minutes. So
bro, I'm looking at this list. They said Trae Young at 30.
So the honorable mentions I have is James Harden and De'Aaron Fox.
Okay.
So number 20, I got Pascal Siakam. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the league. 19, I got Kyrie. 18, I got Ja. 17, I got Zion. 16, I got Trae. 15, I got Donovan Mitchell. 14, I got Shea. 13, I got Devin Booker. 12, I got LeBron. That could be controversial.
Might be a little controversial.
11, I got Jimmy Butler. 10, I got Jason Tatum. 9, I got Damian Lillard. 8, I got Kevin Durant. 7, I got Kawhi. 6, I got Embiid. 5, I got Anthony Davis. 4, I got Luka. 3, I got Giannis. 2, I got Steph Curry. And 1, I got Jokic.
Now, I don't know if I think I see Anthony Davis. I don't think I'd put him 5. When he's on, I think he's 5. But then I go back to the inconsistencies, and because I don't know if Anthony 5, he hasn't been an MVP. He just hasn't played enough to be at the MVP. I wouldn't put him at 5. I'd put him 6, 7.
Yeah, it's my thing about Anthony Davis is that I think he's more resilient than Embiid in the playoffs. I think he's a better defender than Embiid in the playoffs in general. I think they're all, and the problem with Embiid is that he's also hurt a lot too, and this also hurts his playoff scoring and like playoffs in general. That I just don't think Anthony Davis has, so that's why I would have him over
True.
Embiid.
But my thing, I have Embiid. I think I have Embiid literally just a spot above Anthony Davis, and it's because when I rank regular season players, I do value the regular season. I do value dudes who put up MVP level seasons. I do value dudes who play 60 games and are in the MVP conversations. I think that matters on player ranks. When they're on in a vacuum, injuries off, I'm taking Anthony Davis over Joel Embiid. But what I've gotten over the last 2 seasons, I think it shows that Joel Embiid's the better player, like resume-wise over the last 2 years. But I would take Anthony Davis as a player. I also think you need to be a little bit higher on Tatum. I think Tatum is slightly underrated to some people. I get he has the inconsistencies offensively, but look what he's doing for the Celtics in these last 2 years.
I mean, to me, like I would take Dame's offense over Tatum's two-way ability, but that's just me.
Yeah, I guess we just rank players differently because I kind of rank players based on what I'm getting from you in the last 2 years, and what I'm getting from Tatum in the last 2 years is far better than what I've gotten from Damian Lillard in the last 2 years.
In 2022.
Playoff sample size. Defensive side of the ball, all NBA first team back to back. That's what I get from Jason Tatum.
I mean,
cringe at the all NBA first team, but
to be fair to Dame, is that he did get hurt last year.
Jimmy Butler.
Anyway, Dame did get hurt last year, and like I think he arguably had his best season this year. And I thought it was better than Tatum. So.
Bro, I have my top 20 pulled up. So
okay, let's hear it.
I think I'm forgetting somebody, Jaden.
My honorable mentions goes to Bam Adebayo. So 20, I have. Wait, is it? Hold on.
Bro said he got it pulled up.
Wait, no, I'm just looking at it. I feel like this is not my order. All right, because I made this a while back. So yeah, my honorable mentions are Bam Adebayo. So 20. Wait, no, 20 is Bam. Okay, shit, I'm messing things up. Honorable mentions goes to fuck. Yeah, I'm messing everything up right now. Hold on.
L Port.
Yeah, I should probably go to my TikTok and look at this because I'm messing
L Port. While you're pulling that up, there's a player that we haven't brought up on your top 20 list yet, and I kind of want to talk about him before we get into football. He's on the Team USA roster. It's looking slow for him, dude. And I might have to drop my.
Oh my god, bro.
Brandon Ingram.
Cornball.
Let's discuss Brandon Ingram for a second, bro. So Team USA actually play today. You guys don't know. They play at awkward times because they're like all the way overseas. You have to wake up at like, 6 a.m. to watch Austin Reeves cook. It's hard to watch some of these games, but when you do watch these games, USA had a tough game. They played Montenegro 85-73. Of course, Anthony Edwards, the Aura master, got himself a quick little 17. Tyrese Halliburton played fine. Austin Reeves always cooked. He was a bit of a free throw merchant today. I think he had 12 points, like 11 were on free throws, but that's besides the point. He was a bit of a free throw merchant, but there's one guy who is really struggling, and he actually got benched for Josh Hart. It's been that bad. Brandon Ingram, man. Let's pull up the last 4 games for Brandon. Today against Montenegro, 2 points, 1 for 3, 0 for 1 from 3. Against, I think this was Jordan. 7 points, not bad, 3 of 7. Against Greece, he was 5 points, 2 for 4, 1 for 2 from 3. I forgot the last team, but he was 2 points, 1 for 4. Got benched. And he's citing frustrations. What's up with Brandon Ingram, bro? Is this like what's going on? Like, is it him? Is this embodiment of him as a player? Should I be concerned with his skill set? Should I factor
to
in
me? It's
ranking?
more of his like skill set because his skill set with someone like the starting lineup is what Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards,
Josh Hart. I think Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, I feel like Brandon Ingram with Jalen Brunson and Anthony Edwards both like to dominate the ball. Ingram doesn't really fit with that. I think it rather fits. I think he fits with Halliburton more than he does Jalen Brunson, in my opinion. So that's just my thoughts on my Ingram.
You also have to understand that, like, You also have to understand it is USA basketball. It's not as serious as the NBA. And I've seen some players that play I've seen some like good players that have like been on the USA team and just play like shit like all the time. I wouldn't worry about Brandon Ingram right now, but if he's rusty going like next season, that could be a problem.
But does it look? I guess I'm not saying like he's a bum. No, of course not. But does it look concerning when Brandon Ingram, this was supposed to be his team, according to a lot of people when we came in. Brandon Ingram, some of you guys consider him a top 20, 25 player in the league. He's struggling to play with other ball dominant players. It just seems like his skill set, the way he plays basketball, can't fit in with another guy like an Anthony Edwards. While other guys like Austin Reeves, Brunson, Halliburton are thriving. Paolo's thriving. With Brandon Ingram's putting up 4 shots a game. He's losing minutes. It's just something's not right. I guess this might be a testament to Brandon Ingram's game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think.
So I just finally got my top 20. Kieran, you can go ahead.
I don't want to get I don't know. The USA just reminds me of preseason. It just reminds me of preseason basketball.
It kind of does.
I wouldn't worry that much. To be honest, I just wouldn't worry that much. I don't know.
Yeah, but does this look concerning? If you're trying to build a team around Brandon Ingram and you're seeing that he can't fit with other ball dominant players at all, does that not look concerning? He can't find another role in the team.
I mean, to be fair,
role or.
I mean, to be fair, we've seen I know Zion's not the most ball dominant, but he's worked with Zion before.
I'll keep my eye on Brandon Ingram. Because I don't know, dude, it looks bad when Austin Reeves and other guys are outshining you and you can't find your spot. It just looks like maybe Brandon Ingram's just one of those guys who just can't fit on a team. Even Carmelo Anthony was able to fit on Team USA teams, despite being a ball dominant black hole in offense, hezzy jab step every time F a pass. He can't find his spot. Maybe it's Steve Kerr. Maybe Steve Kerr's just shoving him in the corner, and that's not the type of player Brandon Ingram is. I'll give him one more game. But what's that top 20 looking like, Jaden?
All right, so since I actually finally pulled it up, so my honorable mentions goes to Bam Adebayo and the guy that we're just shitting on, Brandon Ingram. 20, I have Paul George. 19, I have Kyrie. 18, I have Trae Young. 17, I have Ja. 16, I have Donovan Mitchell. 15, I have Shea. 14, I have Zion. 13, I have Booker. 12, I have Butler. 11, I have Tatum. 10, I have Dame. 9, I have LeBron. 8, I have KD. 7, AD. Oh, Jesus.
W, brother.
All right, 8 KD, 7 AD, 6 Embiid, 5 Kawhi, 4 Luka, 3 Giannis, 2
Kawhi at 5.
Who's at 5? Kawhi? Oh. I mean, when I look at Kawhi, I still rank these players when healthy. Kawhi Leonard is still a top 5 scorer in my eyes when he's healthy. Still one of the most efficient. He translates to the playoffs better than most of these players. He's one of the more resilient players in the entire NBA, even though his defense has fell off as well. He's still one of the best two-way players in the entire league. And he's improved as a playmaker too. So
I got availability issues with Kawhi. I mean, when he played 50 games this regular season. I didn't see top 5 player in the regular season at all from Kawhi.
Wait, Jaden, I have a question. Who do you have 4?
4th, I have Luka. I used to be low on him.
Who do you have 6?
Huh?
Who do you have at 6?
Embiid.
There's just nothing I've seen from Kawhi.
This is my problem, right?
One playoff game for him to he had that one great playoff game, and I do think he's one of the best playoff translators in the league. But it's the sample size is pretty small compared to these other players, and you're kind of just projecting with Kawhi a little bit, if he was healthy. Again, the regular season he did play 50 games. It just wasn't good enough. Although he did have some good splits, it just wasn't good enough. again, like what I've seen from Joel Embiid in the last 2 seasons, really good sample size, MVP level regular seasons back to back. Although the playoffs is like, I feel like a bad playoff series or two just can't throw away what you do for 164 games.
My thing about Embiid versus Kawhi, I think at this point Embiid has like more value as a player because I think he's clearly a better defender than Kawhi at this point. And like, well, Kawhi is a better offensive player. I still think like Embiid is close enough to make that
I don't think Kawhi is a better offensive player in the playoffs. Yeah, but overall, I don't think he's a better offensive player. Who puts the ball in basket? Tell me, who puts ball in basket? I don't think Kawhi is this insane playmaker. Who puts the ball in basket more?
Yeah, but Kawhi is still like a much better playmaker than Embiid, and he's also a better off-ball player as well.
I guess, but I wouldn't say it's crazy.
I mean, like, you can have Kawhi as low as 8, in my opinion, but I have him at 5. So.
I don't have Kawhi in my.
I have Kawhi at 7, so
that's fine.
I can't put him higher than 8. Like, he's just not playing as much as those other guys, and I do have to tax him at the end of the day. Because I go off the last 2 seasons, and if you didn't play at all the year before, you play 50 games here, and then what did I get? 2 playoff games from you, bro?
I mean, that's
wait, Jay, what's your 8 through 10 again?
My 8 through 10 is Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Damian Lillard.
I don't know how you can have LeBron over Dame at this point.
I mean, it's relatively close, but when LeBron James was healthy, remember when he was healthy, he's still averaging a cool 30. Let me see. He's averaging a cool 31 on 51 from the field, 33 from 3. 8 rebounds and 7.
But
he's still primarily, to me, a top 10 scorer in the NBA, top 10 playmaker in the NBA. He can even though I don't think
top 2
is
top 2.
No, top 10.
Music to my ears, Jaden. Keep going. Music to my ears.
I said top 10.
Music to my ears.
But
yeah, but I think, my problem with LeBron is that these are like stretches of him being healthy, and like I don't think he can do that at a consistent level anymore.
I mean, that's fine, but I just see like when I look at these players as well, LeBron is still more athletic than Damian Lillard to me. I feel like he's still going to the rim more than Damian Lillard to me. I still think his stamina still puts him up in this list. It's probably gonna fall off though. So,
all right.
Who knows?
But do you think Dame is a better offensive? I have a question though. Do you think Dame is a better offense player?
Yeah, I actually do think that for now.
I don't know, bro, because I still think LeBron could still get you 25 to 30 points and also make better than Dame. But it's close, though. I'd say they're both probably top 10 offensive players.
It's close.
My thing is, I think Dame at this point is clearly a better scorer.
Yeah, he's a better scorer. Yeah.
And I think the scoring app might be better than playmaking app. I'm not gonna lie.
All I care is ball and basket
at this point.
No, that's fine. I'm not gonna really hate on it because I did.
All right, so we've talked basketball for way too long. Everyone and their moms who is here wants to talk football, so let's talk football. Let's talk NFL award predictions. We have other football topics, but I don't want to save the award predictions to the end because people are going to get mad that they've sat here for an hour and haven't gotten to the award predictions. So do you guys have your award predictions?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to tell you mine first.
I do.
I'm going to tell you mine first, and then you guys tell me where you agree and where you disagree, and then you share yours if you disagree. So here are my NFL award predictions for the 2023 NFL season. I mean, I'm just going to start listing off my predictions that I believe are like the favorites, so people aren't surprised by these. Comeback player of the year. Do I have to explain it? Damar Hamlin survived a literal tragedy last year on the field and will suit up for the Bills this season. I think everyone's going to take Damar here. He should be comeback player of the year. What a story. Let's talk about the rookies. Defensive rookie of the year. Will Anderson, Jalen Carter. I'll go Jalen Carter. I think Jalen Carter arguably was the best defensive rookie talent. He just fell in the draft because of some off-the-field issues. He's been looking pretty good in the preseason. He's going to be a really good defense. think Jalen Carter wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I don't think a single quarterback will win this award. I've said this. They're on bad offense, especially Jonathan Taylor. So I'm going to pick the best non-QB rookie offensive talent, that being Bijan Robinson. Everyone's high on Bijan Robinson. I think he's just the best talent here. I'm going to pick him to win the award. Now let's get into the juicy ones. Defensive Player of the Year. TJ Watt is healthy, but I'm going to go Micah Parsons. I just think he's due. He is due, man. At least 13 sacks in his first 2 seasons in the league. He was also back-to-back second in Defensive Player of the Year. It's time. It's time for Micah. He will anchor, I think, one of the best defenses in the league with at least 15 sacks. Offensive Player of the Year. Now, this one was tough. And I was going through a lot of guys like Christian McCaffrey, but his health and workload just concerns me. And the other receivers up for it, the reigning champ, Jay Jettas and Tyreek Hill, I don't know. I can't trust their consistency throughout the whole season because, Tyreek Hill, I can't trust his consistency throughout the whole season because Tua's his quarterback. And Jettas won last year. That would be kind of insane if he wins again. So I'm going Jamar Chase to win Offensive Player of the Year. I think the Bengals will have one of the top offenses in the year. I mean, Joe Burrow's throwing to you for crying out loud. If Jamar Chase can be healthy throughout the entire season, I think they recreate what they did on that Super Bowl run and have one of the most explosive deep down the field offenses. Now let's talk MVP. Who's out there? Hurts, Mahomes, Jackson, Josh Allen, Burrow, a lot of guys. But I'm going Trevor Lawrence to be the MVP of the 2023 NFL season. 10th easiest schedule in the league. He's got 10 games against the 2 worst divisions in football, NFC and AFC South. That matters. And their hardest competition, they'll all be facing them in Jacksonville. I think Lawrence has the opportunity with such a Mickey schedule to stack a ton of yards and a ton of touchdowns. His stat sheet will look good by the end of the year against mid-comp. And then he will be on his way. I think the Jags will also finish as the AFC's top seed, giving him the MVP. And the AFC top seed is going to also have the Coach of the Year, Doug Peterson. That's my award picks.
Okay. Solid.
I think all those are valid. Like I wouldn't have like any disagreements at all with those.
But let me hear yours. If maybe you don't have like a disagreement, obviously like these guys are most of the guys I picked were like top 3 in favorites. Other than like Trevor Lawrence, I don't think Trevor Lawrence was top 5 favorite in Vegas odds.
I'm gonna say so. These are mine, and I'm not like okay. We know all Damar Hamlin is gonna win this award, but if I didn't have to pick Damar Hamlin for comeback player.
I got the kick button ready on Kieran because he's about to say George Pickens, Offensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year, and Kenny Pickett, MVP. Mike Tomlin, Coach of the Year.
So for comeback player of the year, if I didn't have to pick Damar Hamlin, I would say Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
And then, so for offensive rookie of the year, we have the same. I have Bijan Robinson. Like, I don't see a scenario where he doesn't at least get 1,400 yards plus.
Can I ask you something on Bijan real quick? Do you guys think with the whole Algier thing, do you think his production is not going to be as much as some people think it will be? Because some people see Bijan being a top 5 running back by the end of next season. Do you guys see that? Or
I do. I see that. I don't think Tyler Algier will really do that much. Like, maybe it'll be.
I mean, Algier's good. Like, it kind of sucks for Algier because I actually like him.
But I think he's solid. I always thought he was serviceable, bro. But Bijan Robinson, I guess. So you got Bijan.
I will say this. Like, Bijan's a stud, but, like, the Falcons picking him was stupid. But anyway.
Yeah.
So, defensive rookie of the year. I know a lot of people are picking Jalen Carter or, like, Devon Witherspoon. I want Christian Gonzalez. I don't know if that's, like, spicy or not. He's going into a Bill Belichick system that I think if he develops, he could be a really good corner. So I'm going to pick Christian Gonzalez.
He fell. I think he fell in the draft. I was surprised because I thought he was like the second best corner, if not the best corner in the draft. And the fact that he fell always surprised me. I thought he should have went like top 13. Like I thought like maybe like a Detroit Lions would have needed him in the secondary. But
all right. Here we go. So MVP, I got Trevor Lawrence. My runner-up is Josh Allen. My runner-ups are Mahomes. Josh Allen, and Aaron Rodgers. So
So you're high on the Jets then?
I am high on the Jets.
Okay.
Because coach of the year, I got Robert Saleh.
All right.
I do.
Wait, so Robert Saleh,
then-
coach of the year. Where do you see the Jets finishing record-wise then?
I have them at the 13.
13 wins. Okay. Even with the
No,
top
third
like
seed.
third seed. I was about to
Third
say
seed.
13 wins is kind of crazy. Okay. Saleh, okay.
Like my thing about the Jets is that like they can go 7-10 with like bums at quarterbacks and having a top 3 defense in the league. You add Aaron Rodgers, I don't see why they can't win 12 games.
So you got Hamlin, you got Bijan, you win Witherspoon. You told us your MVP, Intercoach of the Year. We need
It was Gonzalez
and Defensive Player of the Year.
Offensive Player of the Year. I don't know if you guys like this or not. I got Nick Chubb.
If you say Bijan,
Nick Chubb,
I got Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb. Okay.
I think Nick. I don't think it matters if Deshaun Watson is bad or not. They're gonna force feed him the ball a lot, I think. And with Kareem Hunt not being there, I think we're actually gonna see Nick Chubb in the receiving game because when he touches the ball, he's actually not a bad receiver. So I think Nick Chubb can have like one of the best year of his career this year. The only thing that concerns me if he misses 2 games, which he does sometimes, but like, and they also have like one of the best O lines in the league. So I think his stats are going to be insane.
I'll be looking out for. So you're saying because I go wide receiver heavy in fantasy, are you saying that I should take Nick Chubb if he's on the board?
Yes, he has upside to be RB1.
Yes.
Because Kareem Hunt isn't there anymore, and Nick Chubb's probably going to take more pass catches. So
you like his receiving upside? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I like his receiving.
I do.
Because these past couple of years, he never really caught that many passes. So I'm trusting you, dude. I have a couple drafts this weekend. If I'm in the late first round, early second round on a snake, Nick Chubb comes up. If he's not offensive player of the year, bro, we're gonna have problems.
Bro, he doesn't have to be.
Oh, I know, but like close, like a top 3 finish. Like I need receiving upside.
I think he'll be a top 3 finish. I think he will.
So for Depoy, I went a little different because I just want to be different.
Oh, okay.
I did. Everyone's picking Micah Parsons or they're picking Micah Parsons or Myles Garrett. I'm going to go with Jaden's going to really like this. I'm picking Dexter Lawrence.
Oh my God, let's go. Yeah, G-Men on top, baby.
I'm picking Dexter Lawrence.
What are the odds on Dexter Lawrence, by the way? Do you know his odds to win Defensive Player of the Year?
It's so low. Or no, it's so high.
It's high? I gotta see this.
Look at his odds.
Or like,
dude, did Jaden Venmo you like 5 to like make that?
No.
Dexter Lawrence.
No. I think Dexter Lawrence is not gonna have like an Aaron Donald type season, but I think he could have a Chris Jones type season.
Okay, I did watch the preseason games. He looked pretty good. I like him rushing up that middle. Are you concerned? Do you think Kayvon Thibodeau would ever be competition off the edge for him, or no? Taking sacks away, taking pressure away.
Nah. I love him, but
I think Dexter Lawrence can get double-digit sacks. I think he can lead the league in pressures. He is that good. I don't think my one issue with him is that I don't think he's as good as a run defender as a guy like Jeffrey Simmons, but I think Dexter Lawrence is going to be like a top 3 D tackle next year.
I can't find his odds, and I found Kayvon Thibodeau's first, so this is kind of odd.
Dude, if you actually land that, I'd give you like a cookie or something, dude, because the odds are probably hard to find. I went Micah because I've seen back-to-back seasons. He's second in Depoy. I just think Micah's due. I think Micah is the favorite, actually. But I think he's due, dude. You're back-to-back second in Depoy. You have 13 sacks each year. You're going to be on a good Cowboys defense. I'm pretty sure team defense does matter on Defensive Player of the Year, kind of just like how team defense matters on Defensive Player of the Year in the NBA.
That's true.
So
but I think the Giants will have a pretty solid defense. I just think the Cowboys might have a better defense. I got to see how that Gilmore-Diggs duo works out. But Micah off the edge.
So
Micah's a top 10 player in the game, so I'm going to go with the top 10 player in the game.
So Dexter Lawrence's odds to win Depoy is plus 6,500. So,
oh my God, dude, I throw like if you partake in the gambling, this is not gambling advice. This is not a gambling stream, but if you partake, if you're that confident, I throw $5-10 down plus 6,500 is actually a lot, bro.
yes,
If you're confident, I throw on that.
It's like 650, right?
mm-hmm.
It's like 650, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, is it 650 or 6,500?
It's plus 6,500 for him.
Yeah, so 6,500. Big time odds.
So,
$10 to win 6,500.
Honestly, do it.
Damn.
It's only $10.
I'd throw a quick 10. Do you have 10 to lose?
Yeah, it's like
Man,
$10. $10.
You're so confident in your pick. Oh, we got to go to Jaden's. I don't want to spend too much time. We have to hear Jaden's.
Right.
I don't want to keep chatting.
My comeback player, DeMar Hamlin, but I'm gonna start doing dark horses. Dark horses, Trey Lance.
Wait, can you elaborate on that, Trey Lance? I don't want to like just pass.
Well, I think I'm not saying he's gonna start right away. I'm not gonna say that he's gonna start right away. But if Dak Prescott can get hurt, I don't think he's gonna do terrible if he gets hurt because he has been a little bit injury prone. If he gets hurt, Trey Lance will probably come up, and I think he will really outshine that Cowboys offense, which he doesn't fit in Kyle Shanahan's offense because Kyle Shanahan literally just hurt Trey Lance, so I don't like Kyle Shanahan at all. But for defensive rookie of the year, I have Devin Witherspoon. My dark horse, I think it's a little. I think it's gonna be Jack Campbell. That's my dark horse. My offensive rookie of the year, it's a lock for Bijan Robinson, so I'm not going to say any dark horses. For Depoy, kind of basic Myles Garrett, but my dark horse is Dexter Lawrence. My offensive player of the year, this one's going to be a little spicy, but I have Calvin Ridley and my dark horse.
I was thinking about that today. That's my dark horse. I was going to throw on it. But that was my dark horse if I was going to explain. I was really thinking about that today.
Yeah, but
Wait, about what?
Calvin Ridley, offensive player of the year.
If Trevor's going to win MVP, I don't see how they give Calvin Ridley offensive player of the year. It's
my,
very rare that both of them win it.
My dark horse for offensive player of the year, it was Garrett Wilson. I don't know if he's that much of a dark horse, but
Do you guys think Garrett Wilson could win offensive player of the year in year 2?
He could.
I wouldn't say in year 2. I'd say like year 3.
That's fine. And my MVP is going to be my boy Trevor Lawrence.
Yes. Oh, so we're all on the Trevor Lawrence train.
Yeah. And my dark horse, I don't know if this is so much of a dark horse. Oh, wait, no. It is a dark horse. Deshaun Watson is my dark horse. So
I don't see Deshaun Watson turning it back to 2020. It's an interesting dark horse, but I just don't see it. I don't think Deshaun Watson can be poop. I don't. But I don't see the 2020 days of like borderline 5K yards, 30+ touchdowns. I don't see it.
Nah, Jaden. I'm gonna ask my dad if he can like bet $10 for Dexter Lawrence to win the team.
Yeah, you guys are about to be rich if you actually win it. Jesus Christ. If Dexter Lawrence,
I want to see, has there ever been time in recent years where the defensive player of the year has been such a underdog and start the year? I feel like with the TJ Watts, the Donalds of the world, like, can I think of a time where it's just been an underdog to start the year?
I think it was Khalil Mack, actually.
I gotta look back at which year where like a dude had just insane preseason odds and actually won the defensive player of the year, or just any of these awards. So we're all on the Trevor Lawrence train. See, I tell people that I believe Trevor Lawrence will be MVP. People are like, dude, you're slow. It's probably because I'm in the Cincinnati area and everyone's a Bengals fan. That's probably why they all think Burrow's going to win MVP. I think the Jags have a Mickey schedule and they're going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. If not two.
No, that's fine. I have them as a 2 seed.
Dude, you got what? 2 games against no Jonathan Taylor, Anthony Richardson playing in a mid offense. Easy wins. 2 games against rookie Bryce Young. 2 games against regressing Ryan Tannehill. You get a game against Baker, game against Derek Carr. You get a game against rookie Bryce Young. You get games against an inexperienced Desmond Ridder. You get all your tough games like the Ravens, the Chiefs, Bills are international. You get all your tough games are at home. Easy schedule. I think Trevor Lawrence could get like 4,500 yards and throw for 30 touchdowns. And I really like Calvin Ridley. I'm going to draft Calvin Ridley in most of my leagues. I really like him.
I'll count Ridley in my league.
I know people are probably a little too high on Calvin Ridley because he hasn't been like that good. He hasn't played full season since like 2020. But I think he can come in. I think he might start slow. But by mid-season, Trevor Lawrence, Super Bowl winning head coach, year 3 now, good weapons already, easy schedule. That's the MVP of the league.
Calvin Ridley is going to be he's going to be a league winner.
My thing about it is that if Dexter Lawrence becomes like this player, like the Giants are going to have one of the best defenses in the league.
Bro, with Wink Martin, though, we just added Isaiah Simmons. Like, dude. I think we could be a top 15 defense. I mean, top 10.
A lot of people are picking Christian McCaffrey to be offensive player.
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
Did you just see what Kyle Shanahan said?
What?
He said he's not going to work Christian McCaffrey like he did with the Panthers.
I don't think so. Having Elijah Mitchell, who's I think is a solid backup, former starter, I think he's going to take some workload. He's going to get some carries. He's going to get some receiving side. Again, like a lot of people probably listening, probably going to think it's going to be McCaffrey, but to all those people listening, again, Kieran just said, workload concerns me. Kyle Shanahan's kind of hinting that workload's not going to be there. His health is not, I don't think he's going to be injury prone like Carolina because of the workload, but you never know. I think it's going to be a receiver this year. I don't think it's going to be a running back unless Nick Chubb just has an insane season. I think this era of football is going to start favoring the receivers as offensive player of the years, and we're going to see a lot more receivers win it, and I'm going to take Jamar Chase. I think the Bengals will have one of the best offenses in the league. Why not have a receiver win it and be him? Jettas can easily go back-to-back. I just don't know.
We haven't seen that in so long.
Yeah, I just don't know if that's ever going to happen. And Tyreek Hill, I think, could be offensive player of the year. He was dead-ass offensive player of the year for like the first 6 weeks of the season last year. But you can't trust Tua in that Miami offense second half of the season. We're going to see that. All right, so we got 2 more things. We're like 47 minutes in. I don't want to keep you guys for a while. I said on my last show I did my underrated team in the NFL. And I said on my next show, I'm going to do my overrated team in the NFL. Really quickly, I said my underrated team in the NFL was the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do you guys believe the Pittsburgh are like the most underrated team in the NFL, or do you think it's another team?
Depends.
I have them going 9-8. Depends. Like, they're underrated, but I don't think they're the most underrated. Just my thing.
Steelers fan at the bottom of my screen. His name's Kieran. Are the Steelers the most underrated team in football, or do you think it's another team?
I don't think they're underrated right now, but I think their potential is underrated. If Kenny Pickett's like playing like, I'm not saying like he does in preseason because that's the greatest QB ever, but
yeah,
anyway.
2 incompletions, dude. He was insane.
No, if he's like a top 15 to like 13 quarterback in the league, they could definitely win like 11 games. I think
this team, if TJ Watt is healthy, this team is so much better when he's on the field. Now, are you in the Nick Wright Steelers win North bandwagon or no?
No. I still have it going 4th, sadly.
I feel like they could be 9-8 and be 4th. Like it's that stacked in the AFC North.
Yeah,
no, I said 10-7.
10-7 is not bad. 10-7 4th is actually crazy, bro.
I think a couple years ago, a team there was like I think in 2013 the Rams were 8-8, and then the Cardinals were 10-6, and they missed the playoffs. And the Niners were 12-4, and the Seattle Seahawks were 13-3. So,
dude, being 10-7 and still the 4th seed, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, wait, Jaden, you didn't say your underrated team. You guys got an underrated team? Because we're gonna go to
my underrated team.
No Giants, please.
Nah, it's not gonna be the Giants. My underrated team is actually gonna be the Colts for this one, honestly.
Oh my god,
dude, I love you gassing us up because as a Colts fan, but bro. We're winning 3 games max, especially.
I got you going. I got you going 6-11. I think,
dude. No.
I got you,
bro. Like Jane, you don't understand how bad they are.
Dude, we
I
have
think
a wide
I don't know.
receiver number one who's realistically a wide receiver
I think
two.
Shane can develop Anthony Richardson better than he did to Jalen Hurts. And
Jalen Hurts
Shaq
had
was-
A.J. Brown, the best offensive line in the sport, Miles Sanders, and then he had an elite defense. What do we have?
You guys
Especially
still
without
have,
Jonathan
I
Taylor.
I think like Michael Pittman could take a little bit of a leap, not that big of a leap. Like he's still a wide receiver.
I'm not sold on him. I don't
I
know
like
about you,
Josh
Kieran.
Downs.
I like and the Josh Downs things. I think Josh Downs and Anthony Richardson can fit together. And if Shaq is healthy, I think that defense is gonna be blown out. And if Quentin Nelson is healthy, then I mean I can still see something special in the Colts. I'm not saying they're gonna be that good though.
The Colts secondary, is not good.
No, not at all.
They have two great defensive players.
DeForest Buckner
Their
and-
O-line and Quinn Nelson is starting to become really overrated. He was not good last year. That O-line is still bad. Like, you can blame Matt Ryan all you want, but it's still bad.
Yeah. I think we're winning 3 games next year. I don't see much from us.
You also have a project quarterback that literally just lost his best player on offense.
Yeah. It's gonna suck watching this year. I'm a red zone watcher, and I don't think we're gonna be on red zone once this year. Like seriously,
No, you're gonna be on red zone, but like you're gonna be scored on.
it's gonna be a pick 6 from Anthony Richardson. I saw some ESPN posts saying that Anthony Richardson's gonna lead the league in interceptions. That's their prediction.
I don't see that happening.
I don't see it either.
Dude,
It's
I don't
Daniel
think
Jones.
he's gonna throw that much. I don't think he's gonna throw that much for like.
Nah.
He's gonna be like Justin Fields, man.
He's gonna be rookie. He's gonna be worse rookie Lamar.
Okay, so now let's go most overrated NFL team.
It's Minnesota.
Why are you laughing?
Not a bad take.
Because they're not good.
Why are they not good?
Bro, their defense is arguably the worst defense in the league, and there's no way they're getting close to 13 wins like they did last year. They beat up on really bad teams. Their schedule is harder this year. When they played good teams last year, they got blown the hell out.
Hey, Kieran, was it lucky?
We're not doing that again. No, casually. You missed like the worst live in my life.
What?
No, I said the Vikings were lucky to have 13 wins last
They
year.
were. I thought that was like the consensus last year, like when they were playing. I thought
it's discipline. It's discipline.
Huh?
It's discipline. It's skill. That's what
It's skill to go 13 games. It was like, okay.
Our defense kept showing up in the fourth quarter.
No. Like, I was like, okay, if you guys were not lucky, how the hell did you literally lose in the first round?
They had a negative point differential.
Dude, yeah, they had a borderline negative point differential. Their only good win was a lucky game. The definition of luck. It was the Bills game. I mean,
Kirk Cousins.
They had to get
Kirk
that
Cousins
muffed,
played
they had to get
trash.
that muffed snap from Josh Allen and the greatest catch ever to win that game. It's the only game ever.
Hey.
Yeah, that's a shot,
Fact,
Kieran,
bro.
by the way. That's a shot.
Overrated catch.
Oh,
Jeremy
my
Scott's
God. Here we
better.
go. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad it depends who's overrated them because some people still haven't winning the division. I'll take the Lions, but it depends who's overrating them.
Oh, another underrated team instead of my team is the Packers. But anyway, yeah, like the Vikings, like even with Jordan Addison, they're gonna have to like every game they're in, they're gonna have to like at least score 30 to win.
Yes, they do.
And I just don't see them doing that.
Their O-line is also a bit of a struggle.
I think we need a serious conversation about the Vikings last year. If again, I don't think they got much better this season. That's why I don't have them winning the division. Like they don't scream at me like they got better. The defense is still poop. I still think they're going to get scored on 20 to 30 points a game. It's going to be exactly like last year where Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins need to command an offense that scores 30 a game. Why do you think they re-signed Hawkinson for that much money? They needed him. Again, they had a borderline negative point differential. They beat up on bad teams. The only playoff team they beat was the Bills, and that was the luckiest game of all time. You needed a Josh Allen muff snap and a greatest catch ever to win that game. A lot went into that season.
Please clip this.
A lot went into that season. It was just lucky. It was just lucky. That's it.
No, like
they weren't supposed to win 13 games. We knew that. And guess what? They went to the playoffs. It settled down, and they lost to Daniel frickin' Jones. No disrespect. No disrespect, but that's it. They got first rounded. If it wasn't lucky, they would have went to the NFC Championship. Facts.
No, if it wasn't lucky, they wouldn't be like barely beating. Like if this isn't the definition of luck, they were down 36-0 against the Matt Ryan-led Colts with Jeff Saturday. And they were like, oh my God, it's the greatest comeback ever. You should have been down 36-0.
You should have been up
You guys are so
36-0.
much better.
Yeah,
you should have been up
36-0. How the hell did you?
How'd you go down 36-0? That's not a flex.
Like, I don't like. And yeah, letting like Justin Fields look like a competent passer, making all these bad quarterbacks.
Daniel Jones had his best game versus the Vikings. Well, this season at least.
Justin Fields arguably had his best passing season, like game of his career against the Vikings.
Before we go on to Jaden, real quick, I will say though, I think the Packers are getting overrated. There's no shot they win this division. No shot.
No, I said
shot
underrated.
they make the playoffs. I think they are overrated. Listen,
Okay, no, I think they can make
I'll say this again. They have relatively the same offense as last year. And if Aaron Rodgers, who I still think is a good quarterback, although he was a lot of offseason drama came to last season, he was floating retirement. But if he couldn't take him in the playoffs last year and he couldn't beat Detroit, there's no way year one starter Jordan Love is. I don't see special from Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love can take this team to the playoffs in 2 years, just not his rookie season. This team isn't a dark horse team. I think they are overrated.
Wait. This is his third year, right?
Yeah, but first year fully starting. And
but
to be fair, tape. He doesn't look that
I think
special.
I think a lot of the problems like last year is that Aaron Rodgers was hurt. He was playing with a broken thumb. He was playing with fractured ribs. I mean, like, yeah, I'm not saying that Jordan Love is like better than Aaron Rodgers, but like at the same time, like usually younger quarterbacks with younger receivers are much better with old veterans with like trying to learn from new receivers. I think
2018 Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
But Mahomes was special, and we knew Mahomes was special. Jordan Love.
No, I'm not. Like, listen. I'm not saying the Packers are gonna be good, but like I have them winning 8 or 9 games. Like, I think their defense is still good. I think Jair is gonna be much better this year. He's more healthy than last year. They have a good defensive line. Rashawn Gary's gonna be back, and like the O-line is still not that bad, and their run game is still good. If Jordan Love plays average, they're going to win a lot. Like, they're going to win some games.
Okay. Now we've talked about the Packers too long. Jaden, give us your overrated team. I'll give you mine.
My overrated team is the Miami Dolphins. Personally, I've been going 7-10. I don't trust
7-10.
I don't trust Tua to be all of that. I think he'll literally regress after those 3 concussions. I don't think he'll even stay healthy for the entire season. I'm not they have Jalen Phillips. They just added Jalen Ramsey. They have Bradley Chubb. I don't think they're.
Oh, Ramsey's not playing like half the season.
Yeah, like Ramsey just got hurt, so I don't really trust their secondary at all. And and I don't think the Dolphins' defense is as good as people try to make it seem. Like it's like once again, they have Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, and Xavier Howard, who hasn't even been that good for a while. So that's why I have them going like 7-10. Because
I don't see 7. I see like 9 to 10 wins. I will say though, my thing with the Dolphins is I will see the same story as last year. I think offensively, this team is going to boom in September. I think you'll see 30 a game from them. But I think come November, Hard Rock, hot team, gets colder outside. I think what's their strength of schedule like top 5? It's that hard. They have a hard schedule. They got Bills, Patriots, Jets. They have a hard schedule. And I think what we saw last year concerns me, and I think we're going to see the same thing again. Other than Tua's health, you know what happens midseason. Defensive starts feeling you out. They know how to prevent you. I want to see how Mike McDaniel transforms his offense from last year because what I didn't like last year was the Chargers, the 49ers. Team started figuring out the Dolphins, and they took those intermediate routes away. They started pressing their receivers at the line of scrimmage, and offense wasn't the same. Tua looked like a scrub. I don't trust this team in the second half of the season. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, he looked like Sam Howell.
Hey, I heard Sam Howell was like, yo, I saw that Ron Rivera quote. Worst quote I've ever seen by a coach ever. I think Ron Rivera said, I didn't realize Sam Howell was this good, or we would have started him earlier last season. Dude, if my coach ever said that about my team's personnel, didn't realize he was that good, that's an auto fire, bro. That's another quote, adding on to his last year when he said, I didn't know losing this game could eliminate us from the playoffs. Like, is he slow? Like,
yeah, no, you can't say that.
I mean, I agree with Jaden. I do think the Dolphins are overrated. I just don't think they're the most overrated team because, like, even regardless, like, their offense is going to put up a shit ton of points and they're going to keep up with teams more than, like, a team like Minnesota Vikings that rely heavily on Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, and I think the Dolphins' defense is better than the Vikings.
Their run game is like...
Their run game is okay.
Raheem Mostert's
like,
not
Raheem
horrible,
Mostert, he's so
bro.
fast. He's not a good running back.
Mostert's
I'm saying you can say the running backs are not good, but they do have like a solid run game. It's not great.
Yeah. You wanna hear a hot take, bro?
Mike McDaniel's just like a running back 49ers merchant. So
you wanna hear a hot take, bro?
What?
Most overrated team in the NFL right now. I'm talking about, like, when I talk about overrated team, I'm talking about one of the teams that people like, not just some like random team I'm calling overrated. It's the Ravens, bro.
The Ravens. Okay.
I like that one.
I like it. Okay.
You know what everyone's saying in the offseason?
Love that.
I think the Ravens have like a top 8 Super Bowl odds. A lot of people have them winning the division. A lot of people have them winning 11 to 12 games. Dude, all I hear is best receiving core in Lamar Jackson's career. Dude,
that's not
that's
good.
the lowest bar I've ever heard. You're going from bad to mid? We're flexing that? They make it sound like they added Stephon Diggs and T. Higgins. Like, no. You added Odell Beckham Jr. who's injury prone. We haven't seen him in a year. And you got a bunch of rookies. And it's also like, too, Lamar Jackson's health has been a question these last couple of years. Let's face it. And this team always starts off hot at the beginning of the year. Their offense looks great, but second half of the season, they pile up injuries. Teams start figuring them out, and it's not the same. I mean, their defense could probably still get them in the playoffs. John Harbaugh is one of the best coaches in the league. But this Ravens hype coming in the year, best receiving core of Lamar's career, he could recreate 36 touchdowns or something. No, I don't see it. I don't think this team is as good as everyone says they are. I still think this team can probably still make the playoffs again, but I think we're hyping up the Ravens just a little too much.
People also have to understand that their offensive coordinator, the last time he was in the NFL, he was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
And their pass rush, like their defense isn't like bad, but their pass rush is like not good.
No, they arguably have one of the worst pass rushing teams.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
And also,
okay, we can barely hear you, bro. I think you might got, like,
put your phone.
Yeah, I think you got like your finger on your mic or something, bro. Yeah, there you go.
So, like, my thing about the Ravens is that they're going from a power run-heavy team to more of an outside zone run-heavy team. My problem with that is Lamar has never been in that scheme in his entire career, even at Louisville. Like, he's never done that.
And who are they power running? What running back? They're not surviving to week 4. Where's Dobbins? He plays 2 games a season. Who's running the ball?
And also, like, I know a lot of people crap on Greg Roman that, like, he can't really develop, like, passing schemes. But, like, my thing is that there has to be a point that, like, we have to give some criticism to Lamar. Because you can argue that even though I think Lamar's an underrated passer, he does have limitations as a passer. He does. He does throw a lot of ducks, and they're not good ones. It's not just on the receivers. Like, and his mechanics compared to other people in the league are pretty bad. Like, I'm not going to lie. They're pretty bad.
Who has better mechanics, Daniel Jones or Lamar Jackson?
It's Daniel Jones. I'm talking about mechanics. Just mechanics. Yeah, it's Daniel Jones.
Hey, if you ask Nick Wright, Caleb Williams is better. So.
Oh my god.
Like, I don't think Daniel Jones' mechanics are that bad.
Not terrible.
They're missing the playoffs anyways. It's fine. Dude, I don't have the Ravens making the playoffs.
I have them at the
I actually don't have them making.
I don't have them making the playoffs.
I have them.
I think they're going to be well. I have the Jets as a wild card lock. I have the Browns and Chargers as the other two wild cards. I'm taking the Browns, bro. I know it's a little risky, but I had to throw a little favor in my predictions. So I'd throw a little flavor in my predictions. So I took the Browns. I also have the Chargers. I just trust Justin Herbert throughout the entire season. I like Herbert. I think the Ravens are going to be like competitive with them, but dude, it's just like I don't.
They also said when like the Ravens offense that they're going to be more pass heavy, and like Ravens fans like don't understand this. When a Russian heavy quarterback transitions from a pass heavy quarterback, their value as a rusher becomes way lower, and that's what the Ravens have been thriving off the last 5 years.
But to be fair, him being a rush heavy quarterback has gotten hurt for the past couple of seasons. I'm not saying
sorry, but like the pass heavy thing, it worked a little. Although they were a run first team. Think about like the Eagles for a second. They did pass more. Jalen Hurts' second year. They got AJ freaking Brown.
Yeah, they got. No, I'm talking about like guys like Cam Newton, because like before 2015, the reason why they were winning was not because of Cam's passing.
Bro keeps covering his mic.
Yeah, you keep covering your mic.
Oh my god, it's like Lamar and Cam Newton. Like before 2015, they were not relying on Cam Newton's passing at all. They were like relying a lot on Cam Newton being like one of the best rushing quarterbacks in the league and having a good defense. And like I apply that to Lamar a little bit. And like the only season that Cam was actually like a very good passer was 2015. And it's kind of the same with Lamar in 2019. So.
Yeah, and it's also that when you go run heavy, like Cam is MVP or Lamar MVP year, it helps the passing lanes because teams are so worried about the running back in the backfield or you as a runner. Whereas like if this team goes pass heavy, first of all, I don't think they have the personnel to go pass heavy. Unless you have rookie wide receivers and like a Duvernay can all of a sudden explode into like 1,000-yard receivers, and then you're asking Odell to what, be a top 15 receiver again? Is that what you're also asking?
They're asking a guy like Zay Flowers to be elite right away.
Which although I do like Zay Flowers, I don't think Zay Flowers is gonna have like an Olave or Garrett Wilson rookie season where like you're like, oh, these are good.
Yeah, like he's gonna be Cooper Kupp his rookie year, so.
Bro does not like Cooper Kupp.
What do you mean?
All right, so there's this last topic I want to get out the way because I'm going to go through it quickly. Mike Evans is wanting a new contract. He might not even play week 1, apparently. That's what he's saying. Mike Evans' contract's coming to a close. He said, according to this article, Mike Evans has a week 1 deadline to receive a new contract, or else he'll look to play elsewhere if there's no deal. He wants to be a Buck for life, but I guess he's looking for a Cooper Kupp level contract from the Bucks, and I don't think the Bucks want to give him that. Kieran, I've seen a couple of videos of yours about like Mike Evans recently. I only bring this up because I kind of want to get your thoughts on Mike Evans as like a player, maybe him all time, or where does he stand right now? So I've seen you talk about Mike Evans recently. It says he's entering his final year of his 5-year, $82 million deal, and he's asking for a new contract. Evans' agent said the Bucks don't want to pay Godwin and Evans, so Evans might look elsewhere.
Yeah, like people say I hate on Mike Evans. I don't. I'm just realistic about Mike Evans. He's a good receiver. That's all I can say. He's never been elite. He's never been
elite. Not one season.
Nope.
Not one.
Nope. If you want to say 2018, I guess, but that's the only season I'll give you. I'm just saying, I would not pay like Mike Evans like a top 20 receiver. I would not, because I don't think he's that good anymore.
He's entering age 30. He's entering age 30.
Chris Godwin is his wife.
Like Chris Godwin to me is better than him.
Yeah, no, I think he's better. I don't think he's better than Trey Palmer.
2016, he was 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. That's elite, to be honest. Jameis is your quarterback too. It looks like he was never an all-pro, though.
He's second team once.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm looking at. Yep. Oh, it was 2016. So,
No, but like I've said this before, like Mike, like even if you want to say Mike Evans was elite, he was never elite for that long to begin with. And I just think he's relatively just been good. Like I don't think he should be paid like a top 10 receiver.
so
Like he
really,
never.
so really quick before we end, you keep saying he's never been elite. He's just been good. Are you saying that Mike Evans is not a Hall of Famer and he's more of a Hall of Very Good type player?
Yes.
Does Jaden agree?
Yeah, I agree.
So even though Mike Evans, 9 straight 1,000-yard seasons, this is not good enough.
It's not good enough because like some of those seasons he's getting like 1,001 yards, 1,032. Is that elite to you? Like
No.
That's not elite to me. If he was getting like 1,300 yards every year, I get it. But like the dude is barely getting 1,000 yards and he's like getting like 150 targets like every year.
Well, what does it take for a receiver to be a Hall of Famer? Because his career numbers, although they're longevity numbers, I mean, longevity numbers do actually matter to make the Hall of Fame. 10K yards, 81 touchdowns. Is that good enough? Or is he just in the Hall of Very Good?
To me, this people brought this guy up a lot, Chad Johnson. What do I think of Chad Johnson? I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, and he has like close career stats to Mike Evans. But he also wasn't elite as long as Mike Evans. So
I guess I honestly feel you because the production is there. He is consistent. I got to, even though it's a passing league and they had an additional game, 9 straight seasons with 1,000 yards. You got like Fitzpatrick and Jameis Winston throwing some of those years. Especially Baker Mayfield gives him a 1,000-yard season. That's pretty good. But 4-time Pro Bowler, 1 All-Pro. I guess he just never stuck out that many times where he screamed Hall of Famer. It just seems like he was always in that tier 2, maybe tier 3 of receiver his entire career. He was tier 1 maybe once, and that was 2016.
When I see guys at their best, like Antonio Brown's a Hall of Famer. I'm just naming guys of his era. Julio Jones. Like I think Odell Beckham Jr. is way better than Mike Evans ever was. Like at his best.
Well, at his peak, yeah.
Demaryius Thomas, I think, was better at his peak.
I don't think there's a huge gap though between Evans.
A guy like DeAndre Hopkins is way better than Mike Evans in my opinion. Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson. I think I would take rookie Jamar Chase over.
Wait, didn't you make a video? Didn't you make a video where someone said Mike Evans is better than Tyreek Hill, like all time or something?
Oh yeah,
that was the worst take I've ever heard.
Like Tyreek Hill, like he's been in the NFL for what 7 years now. He was I
think 2015,
2016. He literally didn't start a game in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. 2019.
Well, I think wasn't he a returner?
He was a returner.
So I remember this season, Tyreek Hill was more of like a Debo. He was more coming out of the backfield than like being an actual quality receiver. So
he started 1 game in 2016.
But I mean, like I know I'm not like a big accolades guy, but like look at Tyreek Hill's accolades. He's a 7-time Pro Bowler. He's a 5-time All-Bro. He's a Super Bowl champion.
Like some casual takes.
No, but dude, that matters for a receiver though. That just shows like how you regarded when you're playing. Which I will say, and I love how you brought this up, and it all comes back to it. The biggest things I believe in when it comes to player rankings and saying he's in Hall of Fame. How are you regarded when you were actually playing absolutely matters. And Tyreek Hill was in conversation for best receiver alive.
Okay, casual.
That's how good he was.
Casual. My thing is though, if that is like how like you perceive things, why are people saying that Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer if the people in the media are not even voting him like into these Pro Bowls or All Pros?
Because of the 9 straight 1,000-yard seasons. That's you want your answer? That's why.
Bro, DJ Chark got 1,000 yards 1 year.
Dude, I'm just saying that's why if you were to ask people, is Mike Evans Hall of Famer? And if you were to find people who said yes, and you were going to say explain, I'm telling you that's the answer they're going to give you. It's the 9 straight. Some people might actually say Super Bowl, but
he had 1 catch in the entire game.
But some people are going to say Super Bowl adds to his resume. That is the ultimate accolades version. But
no, I'm just like I don't even think like Mike Evans is like he's higher all time than a guy like Stephon Diggs. Like I think Stephon Diggs at his best was like a top 3 receiver in the league. In 2020,
Stephon Diggs at one point was the best receiver alive. He probably wasn't, but like he had an argument.
He had a small argument, but at the end of the day, like Mike Evans never had that.
In 2020, he had an argument.
Like Michael Thomas, like people got mad at me that I have Michael Thomas over Mike Evans all time.
Stephon Diggs led the league in receptions, yards, 8 touchdowns in 2020. You can argue he was best player alive.
I think it was Tay because Tay missed like 3 games and he had like 1,400 yards.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying like arguments there. Like if you were to argue for Diggs, it's not like the worst thing in the world. Like you can actually make the argument. He was first team All-Pro, so you can make that argument.
No, like I don't like Mike Evans in his era is like not like he's arguably not top 15.
He was never a first team All-Pro. And it goes back to my thing again. I like the top 3 thing you would have on your resume is were you ever an argument for best alive in your position? I think that absolutely matters. Like, don't rank a receiver who is never in conversation for best receiver alive above a receiver who was. Unless the longevity gap is like astronomical, which 99% of chance wouldn't. Unless we have some anomaly. Never, ever put somebody who was in conversation for best player alive below somebody who never was.
By the way, Josh Gordon is better than Mike Evans ever was.
Well, the longevity gap is there. The longevity gap
is already ahead of him, bro.
I don't think Josh Gordon's higher than Mike. But that's what I'm saying. Like an outlier. It's like the Derrick Rose situation because Derrick Rose, although I don't think he was in, like you can make an argument. Derrick Rose, he had the best season. He was the MVP, so he was an argument for best player alive, even though it was LeBron. But like
my thing is that like people think I'm a peak merchant. I'm really not. Like I do value longevity. Like
you are a peak merchant, bro.
No, I'm not. No. Like my philosophy is like, why would I take someone's like 5 best? Like, why would I take 10 good seasons over 5 elite seasons? It makes no sense to me. Like,
yeah.
Like example, like Antonio Brown versus Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh, dude. If you're taking Larry Fitzgerald over Antonio Brown, bro.
Like, Larry Fitzgerald has more, like, good seasons than Antonio Brown. But prime for prime, it's not even close.
Not close.
Not even close. It's not close.
Larry Fitzgerald was more of a playoff riser, in my opinion. Like, his regular seasons, I don't think were ever as dominant as Antonio Brown.
2008.
Larry Fitzgerald made his money outside. Well, to be fair to Larry Fitzgerald, he never had many competent quarterbacks other than like 2 seasons of Kurt Warner and maybe like a season of Carson Palmer. But by the time he got Palmer, he was like already like 40. Larry Fitzgerald never had like those dominant regular seasons like Antonio Brown.
I mean, like, to be fair, you can argue that, like, Ben would have never reached his peak without Antonio Brown.
No, those Steelers offenses would never have been the same.
Because, like,
never.
I always, like, Ben was good before Antonio Brown, but he wasn't, like, an elite quarterback before Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
I think he only had, like, 1 elite season before Antonio Brown was there.
I get what you're saying, yeah. That offense definitely would just have never been the same.
Yeah, because, like, Ben is the guy, he can, like, he has a good floor, but, like, if you want to reach your ceiling, you need Antonio Brown.
That's fair. Well, we're an hour and 20 in, and that's all I got. So I want to thank you guys for being here with me today. This is my usual crew. I always appreciate having Jaden and Kieran on. Their TikTok names will be in the description if you want to check out their page. Thank you to the guest, of course. Thank you for the listeners who listen live on Twitch. We'll always love the live Twitch listeners. YouTube listeners always get some love. But the people who tune in on Twitch live when it happens, special love for you. Make sure you follow all my social media. Some Casual Takes is the handle to stay updated, all things related to the show. Next show will be on Monday. I don't know what I'm going to talk about Monday. Maybe college football. I don't know. I got to go around my class schedule. I don't have Friday classes, so I can just fire up whenever. But I do have a hectic Monday. But thank you guys for tuning in. See you Monday.
Yo, Jaden.
Yeah.